I am back with my first round of destash lots, and first off I want to apologize for the lighting in here. It's not great right now. I'm in the middle of redoing my craft room and relocating my craft room, and I don't have my setup going right now, and so there's going to be some shadows, as you can see, but hopefully that will not bother you, and hopefully that will not bother you. Let's go ahead and get into the destashes. If you have watched any of my destash videos, you know that I do not charge that much for my destashes. I tried my best to keep the cost down as much as I could for these destashes. I know that shipping has increased, and I typically like to keep my destash lots pretty low. So basically all you will be paying is shipping and then just a little bit on top of that. And if you've watched my destashes in the past, you'll know that I don't typically charge a whole lot for my destashes. So let's go ahead and get into it. I tried to make somewhat of a theme or to coordinate colors, but you'll see as we go through what I have available. And the first destash lot I have is going to be somewhat of a cookbook or a food themed lot. So let me go ahead and show you what I have. It's a lot of vintage recipe cards and just all sorts of recipe cards. These are great for junk journals and really any type of craft projects that you do. So you will get an assortment, and these are adorable. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a watermelon applique or something, but we'll get to that. And then here is a stack, and I am not even sure of everything that's in here. I just started grabbing things and throwing them into liked themed items, and this one is adorable. That's more of a Christmas themed one, but we'll keep it in the box here. And if I've ever seen these cute heart recipe cards, I don't recall. So just an assortment. And if you like working with recipe cards, this would be a great lot for you. And here's some, oh, okay, here's some of those, oh, what do you call these? I can't think of what these are called right now, but they're for the food booklets, or the booklets years ago that they used to use. You could collect them, and I might even have one in here, I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm sure most of you know what I'm talking about. And what is this? It is a coupon for grape nuts. And more recipe cards. Here is one with lemons on it. And I don't know if these don't seem to be vintage. I don't think these are vintage, but still, they would be good for junk journals. And then I have a vintage cookbook. It is dated 1969. And let me just show you some of the pages. I wonder what tuna jackstraw casserole is. I have never heard of that. I don't know that that even sounds good. What is a jackstraw? Okay. We will just keep looking here. That looks good to me. And what is that? I need to look through this cookbook and get some recipes before I send it to its new home. Okay, so I just love looking through old cookbooks and old advertisements and things like that. So oh my gosh, I don't know what that is, but ooh. Oh, it's some sort of gelatin mold. I don't know, that does not look good to me. Okay, so anyway, you will get this cookbook. Here's a vintage buckle. This might even be, I don't know if it's Bakelite. I don't think it's Bakelite, but it's one of those older plastics, I believe. So you'll get that. Here is another recipe book. And this one, let's see if there's a date. I am not seeing a date, but I guess someone liked the calico dip. There's a check mark next to it. Okay, I'm not seeing a date anywhere, but it is definitely vintage. You can see the aging around the papers, so you will get that. Here is a vintage yo-yo and some, what are these called? What is it, a granny square or something like that? Here is a handkerchief, a vintage handkerchief. So I think the majority of the items are going to be vintage. And here is a vintage score pad from White Castle for bridge. And let's see if there is a date. And it looks like it is from the St. Louis area, and I don't know if White Castle is a regional thing. I never really thought about that. So, I'm not seeing a date, but I know this is vintage, and you'll get that. Here is a vintage recipe bookmark, so you could just put this in your recipe book and mark where your recipe is at. So it would go like that. And here is a blue book of telephone numbers. Let me find out if there's a date on this. Southwestern Bell. Does anyone remember Southwestern Bell? I remember when I was younger, we could only get telephones through Southwestern Bell. It's when you had to rent them. You could not go to the store and buy them. So my husband and I were just talking about that the other night with our grandkids. And of course, they gave us the weirdest look, like, what are you talking about? Okay, so this is kind of interesting. And I'm guessing this is pre... Okay, I was going to say pre-1980s, but I see the date there. It's 1966. So I think that makes sense. So you'll get that. Not that that has anything to do with cooking, but I figure I would throw that in. There was some room in the box, and I wanted to throw some... I wanted to fill these boxes up. This is a regional flat rate box. I was going to do the medium flat rate, but gosh, those are almost $20 for shipping right now. I think it's like 17 or 18. So I switched to the regional A box instead. So there's another one of those bookmarks. And then we have a few note cards. This one I know is vintage, probably 80s, 90s, something like that. And then this one, oh, I guess this one's vintage as well. This one may or may not be vintage. And then here's a cute little note card from Michael's. And this is probably a newer vintage. And when I say that, I'm talking maybe early 2000s. I've had that for quite some time. And this is just an adorable card. This would make a great insert for junk journals. So I just think it's adorable. It has some strawberries and some cookies or something in there. So I thought that kind of fit the theme of food. And then I have this little tag with mushrooms on it. Oh, here is the applique. I guess it's an applique. Maybe it's an iron-on. Hand sew or glue. Okay, anyway, it's adorable. And it's sequins, as you can see there. Then I have this vintage, it's saying Illinois Power Company, but I don't think that's what it is. It just has all sorts of little inserts in here, so I'm not going to pull everything out, but I'll just give you a quick, I guess it is from the Power Company, but this has all sorts of fun things in it that you could use for junk journals. And I guess we have some, this is probably why I included it in this particular DESTASH, because it does have some recipes in there. So you will get that little booklet, and I don't see a date, but I'm sure I'm not seeing a date, but I'm sure from the graphics it looks like it's probably 40s, 50s, possibly 60s. So it is vintage. And then the last item that goes into this DESTASH is going to be this cool cookbook. And I'm not going to go through every single page. I do have a two-part video of this particular cookbook. I will link that below if you are interested in watching those videos. But I picked this up at an antique mall, knowing that I wouldn't keep it, but I just wanted to look through it. I just thought it was such a cool thing that someone put together, and I could not leave it behind. So that is going to go into the box. So the next few things that I have, I thought that I would offer these up. If you're interested, you will just pay for shipping plus $2. So that's all it's going to be. This is pretty light, and I can tell you how much they weigh. So I realized when I was doing a quick edit that I did not even take these stamps out of the bag that they were in. So I wanted to insert some footage here to show you exactly what you will be getting. And as you can see, they are pretty large. And these are dated 2001, so they are considered vintage, but I purchased them and I wanted to use them to make cute gift bags, and I just have never been able to do that, and so I'm going to let them go. If no one wants them, I may just go ahead and keep them because I do love them, but as I said, I have not reached for them. I've had them for years and years, and I think it's time to let them go. This is the only one that has been used. I did not use it. It was used when I received it, but they are just adorable stamps. This is going to be about £1, so you can either look that up from your zip code, or you can send your zip code to me and I can tell you how much it's going to be, but probably not that much. So I will ship it the lowest rate I can find. And this, if I can keep it under 16 ounces, right now it's registering about 9 or 10 ounces, but I can take it out of the bag and put it into the lightest weight shipping envelope that I can find to get the shipping down as low as I possibly can. So if you're interested, let me know. And the same thing with this. It is an Easy Rose flower maker, but I thought I would use this for making flowers for the baby books that I create, but I've had it for years and years. I've never used it, and so I figured it was time to move it along, and I think it's from the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. I thought I found a date on it. I could be wrong, but again, this will be $2 plus shipping. Let me tell you how much this weighs. It's 15 ounces right now without packaging, so it might go a little over £1. But again, if you are interested, send me your zip code and I can give you a better idea of the shipping. And this is a 90s, I believe it's 90s. I'm sorry, 2005. So almost vintage, not quite vintage. Vintage is considered anything 20 years or older. So at least that's the rule that most people go by. So this, if you're interested, I would be able to ship this as media mail. So that will be just a couple bucks. If you are interested in this, send me your zip code. I will let you know how much it would cost. Again, I can send this media mail, and so it would only be probably $3 or $4 to ship, plus $2 on top of that. So you're looking at maybe $6 for this. So if anyone's interested, just let me know. And then the last thing I have here is a Rand McNally 1996 Road Atlas. And if anyone's interested, this would also be $2. And let me tell you how much this weighs. This is a little over £1. I would not be able to send this media mail because it does have some ads in here, and I believe you are not allowed to use media mail if the booklets have ads. If I'm wrong, please leave in the description below, but I believe that is one of the rules. So if anyone's interested, just let me know your zip code and I can give you a better idea on how much that would cost. And I think I will stop at that for this video. I was going to try to fit in one more, but the video is already getting a little bit lengthy, So I'll just stop right now. If anyone's interested, let me know. The cookbook themed lot is going to be $24 shipped. It's going to be PayPal, friends and family. It will be US only, and that is only because shipping is just too expensive. If you're out of the US and you are willing to pay the difference in shipping, I would be more than happy to ship that wherever you are. Just let me know. If you have any questions, let me know, and thank you so much for watching.